Hello and welcome back to another Karen video, and Lulu is our word for today. Because today I wanted to talk about, well, I guess this is the first time I'm going to talk about something like this, so buckle up guys, this is an ultra rare Karen species. Because today we are going to talk about a Filipina Karen. Yes, now I don't know if there are other Filipina Karens, maybe I'm the only one living under a rock, but this Filipina Karen is built different. And this is actually the first time I've learned something so stupid and diabolical made by a Karen that has a Filipino blood coursing through her veins. And this is gonna rank 9.9 on the Richter scale of foolishness. Because I've known Karens to just make a fool out of themselves, and usually no one takes them seriously with their routinely freakouts, and no one really gets hurt or lose anything other than time and patience dealing with these beasts. But like I said, this Filipina Karen is built different, because not only did this Karen publicly humiliated someone on social media, but she actually got the person she humiliated to lose their job. A real peak specimen here, so let's get right into it. So this girl named Daniela just got home from school, I think, and most likely ran towards her room, sat down on her bed, and wrote this long ass rant about her, unquote, experience on her Grab ride. Trigger warning, sexual harassment, do not book or get in a car with this driver, Jericho, and yeah, she kinda doxed him a bit, all that's left is his home address. So she continued, Grab, I'm still shaking from everything that happened. Just a few minutes ago, our Grab driver fapped during the trip. Huh?
What?
Oh no, he didn't. My sister and I finished our activity in school. Since it was late, we booked a Grab car going home instead of commuting and walking so we feel safe. The moment we got in the car, this maniakis, a Filipino slang word for maniac, was already breathing heavily and was acting weird. I was tired from today, but my gut told me to stay alert.
Stay alert, queen. Okay.
Just 5 minutes in, I started hearing squishing sounds and he was also breathing more heavily, almost moaning, in fact. And I immediately got it. What? almost moaning? How does that work? Okay. Well, I don't know if she's aware, like, ma'am, have you ever wondered why it's called fapping? Well, if you don't know the answer, it's because when men does their, thing, it doesn't make a lot of squishing sound, I'll tell you that much. It's called fapping because it makes, you guessed it, a fapping sound. You hear this. Not squish, 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 squish. It's a little trivia for that little awesome brain of yours. And the squishing sound she was saying can be a lot of things. Now, okay, so fat people sweat a lot. And I know that from experience because we are carrying a lot of water and because we are heavy. And because of a high carb and high fat diet. I mean, you're supposed to know that, ma'am. So like when your armpits grind and it's sweaty, it could squish, and when you move your belly, your folds could squish. And also heavy breathing can mean a lot of things as well. Maybe before he got to you, he ran half a marathon before picking you up, or maybe it's the reason that he himself said that he is fat, have high blood pressure, and have asthma. Now, I don't know if any of you have an experience being fat, but back when I was fat, give me 5 steps up a staircase, I'm gonna be panting hard. That's how rough the lung capacity of a fat person is, and that can also vary if you smoke cigarettes or not. So obviously, for a fat person, breathing is a lot heavier than the normal person. So moving on, I now fully zipped up my jacket, alerted my sister discreetly, and messaged her dad, who booked the trip, to report immediately. I had to wait a little bit to find an area that it was more in public and that I was well familiar with. From there, I started an audio recording and confronted the driver. I can't be scared or even sound like it because he'll think it's nothing. By the way, he picked us up at our school gate. He knew we were students. So he was in the middle of his session when I asked him out loud if he was okay. I told him that I noticed that he was breathing super heavily and he was shocked and tried to laugh it off. And I kept asking angrily, "What's good?" I looked him straight in the eyes. He said that he was full because he ate a lot of rice, that's why he got his shirt up exposing his belly, and I saw that only one hand was on the wheel. The squishing sound got louder. Now, okay, so a little context. So in the Philippines, it's a very common practice for men in the older generation with big belly to lift their shirt up and unbutton their pants if they are full after eating. Or it depends on what lower clothing they are wearing, to give room per se. It's a bit weird, I know, but from what I observed, the older generations are the only ones doing that. So she said that only one hand is on the wheel. One hand on the steering wheel is not a definitive proof that someone is relieving themselves. But to her defense, she does make it seem that he is doing his business while driving. So moving on, then he proceeded to continue what he was doing. He said, nothing ma'am, it's because it's fat. I asked, what fat? So what am I hearing, huh? No sir, you are masturbating. So as you can see, she jumps to conclusions quite easily. So at this point, he got scared and started apologizing. Good thing that I knew the area well. I demanded that he park the car and I told him that our dad booked the ride. My sister and I got out safely and went to the nearest fast food place. It's a good thing that the door was not in child lock, nor did he notice that I unlocked the door. Then our dad is on the way to get us. We booked Grab to be safe. Now this, I'm wearing a shirt, jacket, and pants, and my sister is wearing t-shirt and pants. My sister was shaking from all the shock earlier. No one will be sexually harassed if there's no perverts. There's a special place in hell for people like this. So yeah, she is really threatening her Grab driver hard, going as far as condemning him to hell. But to be fair to her, it's not an uncommon scenario, and it's a really scary scenario, especially for women, and a nightmarish situation if you got wrongfully accused. Now I get it, that maybe that's her side of the story, and that's how she interpreted it. That her driver is, using them as pleasuring collaterals, that she just posted that because she wants everyone to be aware. But without any evidence, her claims will be considered as a gigantic crock of 100% pure bullshit. Now there are two key takeaways on her side of the story that make it seem very suspicious. Number one, she did not say that she saw his pee-pee to actually confirm that he is in fact pleasuring himself. She just said that he is breathing heavily and she is hearing a squishing sound. Then a little devil popped into her head that said, the driver is fapping. And number two, the recording that she was talking about was nowhere to be seen. Maybe she thought that if she did post that recording she was talking about, she's gonna be clowned on right off the bat because nothing really happened. It's just gonna be her yelling at the driver for no reason. Then shortly after that post went viral and Danielle was happy, she's probably jumping up and down because she got the attention she desperately needed. And then the driver suddenly dropped the fattest Uno reverse card I've ever seen, and he responded by posting his version of the story. Now this is mostly in Tagalog, so I slapped it in Google Lens and translated it. So here's what he had to say. So the first part, he just basically said that he is a family man with 2 daughters, so he has a lot of respect for women, and there's no way that he could have done that. Then he shed some insight on why he is breathing heavily. So he said, I am overweight, have asthma, and high blood pressure. I just finished dinner and I am panting because I'm full. I understand how this could be misinterpreted by Miss Daniela, but I will repeat, I did not masturbate. Miss Daniela can also prove that I have never taken out my penis during the ride. I also just want to clarify that I did not say sorry or panic when I was confronted by Miss Daniela, because I am not doing anything wrong. I was only surprised because they suddenly requested to go out. I also asked them why they are going out. Grab's Audio Protect recording review will prove this. They were only in my car for about 5 to 6 minutes. I'm just fat, so the sound of my breathing is different, which can be interpreted as the squishy sound. Sorry if this bothers others. I understand why I am now temporarily deactivated from Grab. I have not been able to travel until the investigation is completed. If necessary, I am willing to face and talk personally to Miss Daniela and her father. I just ask for your understanding and may it be investigated fairly and properly. And may the false accusations and judgments be over, because my family has also been affected, especially my kids, due to the amount of bashing and even death threats. Colleagues, I thank you for your understanding and support. I understand your anger, but what I am going through right now is terrible. I hope we don't bash Miss Daniela. I trust Grab's investigation. Thank you very much. And I love that this dude immediately said that don't shit on Daniela, because he knows he is in the right. And this huge hooligan is full of shit. I just feel bad for the driver and his family, because in true art of shitting on people, death threats are all too common. But being wrongfully accused? I mean, it's bad enough that he lost his job temporarily for that, but this delusional Karen also dragged the driver's family into all of her shit. Although unintentionally, but they are wrongfully suffering from what she did. Then a few days later, Grab actually made a statement, and I'm just gonna read the important part. So they stated that after a comprehensive review of the audio protect recording from the trip, the driver partner's profile, and the performance history, we found no conclusive evidence to support the allegations or indicate any malicious intent. In light of these findings, the driver partner's account has been reactivated. Furthermore, he will be compensated for the earnings he lost during the suspension period. That is nice. A well-deserved outcome. I give a round of applause to the company for its remarkable investigation. And not only is the driver found not guilty, but he also got compensation for the days that he was not working. So what now? Feel free to guess what happened to this Tyrannosaurus here. So she immediately deleted all of her socials. I mean, would have guessed, right? And all of the people turned against her. Instantly. Sue her. The driver should sue her for defamation. She's not probably worth his time. She thought she was her. And a lot of people calling her Gorlock the Destroyer 2.0. I mean, that is just nasty work. So she is 100% in the wrong here. Not only did she jump to conclusions right away, she shouldn't have humiliated him in public for a little bit of clout. Because if it weren't for that security recording, she could have ruined his and his family's life. And her school also made a statement, and props to the school for not immediately expelling her because of her actions. But her face is all over social media already, so she is now going to be subjected to some substantial amount of clowning and stares of shame from the people around her. So she might transfer school after this, but I might be lying if I said that she didn't deserve all that. So let this be a lesson to all of you guys that before you accuse someone, you have to line up all of your ducks perfectly, or else you'll be like this Filipina Karen over here where you just ruined your image for like a little bit of clout. So yeah, she has yet to reactivate all of her socials, so we don't know when she'll be back to wreak havoc once again. So yeah, I just wanted to share this Filipina Tyrannosaurus here because it's 1 in 1,000 sighting for me. So yeah, that's all there's to it. Thanks for watching. Bye.